Hello, Flosstube. I'm Jessica, the Rainy Day Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. Today is March 25th of 2021, and this is Flosstube number 4. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is my space to talk about cross stitch and other crafty things, but it's mostly cross stitch. I have a ton of stuff to show you again. Just a little bit of, well, I want to say a little bit of stitching. Little things on lots of projects. I'm probably not going to show every single one. We'll get into that in a second. Some new starts, some FFNs, finished for nows. I'll explain those when we get to those as well. I have a new start that I'm planning that I'll talk about. And then, as it's been a ginormous pile o haul, but also a little bit of stitchy kindness. So before we get into that, I should say that I'm a little woozy today. I had the COVID vaccine, which is super excited, on Monday. That just a few days ago, the state of Colorado, where I am, opened up the sort of groups to include not just K through 12 educators, which is very, very important. I mean, like, hats off to anyone who can work with children, because that's not me. But also for higher ed, which is where I am. So that happened on Friday. And Monday morning, I snagged an appointment for Monday night. And I didn't know it, but I was able to get the Janssen one-shot, so I don't have to go back. I'm done with the pokey, but boy, has that put me through the ringer. At first, I was like, oh, this is easy. I got this. I'm a little tired, but whatever. And then it hit me like a train. It was sort of like getting the flu. Everything, all my joints are achy. I spiked a fever. So I'm a little dizzy. I'm a little discombobulated. I have my notes and whatnot, so you'll see me looking down at those. But a little bit of patience and compassion as I'm working through. It's also spring break, so for me that means lots of days in my pajamas, and I'm really glad I was able to go through the sort of my body's response to the vaccine when I wasn't also trying to teach several times a day. But that also means I'm sort of in mental vacation mode, and I'm not really with it. So that's all to say. I'll probably make some mistakes. I'll be correcting myself. But I have a pretty extensive list of stuff to put in the description box. So you can absolutely go and find the things there, or you can message me on Instagram. So let's get into the stitching. So the first thing is, it's March, right? This is my one and only March video, it looks like, which means it is March Matchup, or aka March Madness, but I don't really like that phrasing for lots of reasons, because mental health is important, and we should be supportive of emotional difference and emotional struggles. So I'm going to go with March Matchup, although even my hashtag says March Madness, but whatevs. We're all learning, right? All at the same time. But anyway, I decided that for me, I was going to do a double bracket. So you can see here's my bracket here as I've been filling in. Boop. And every single one of these little projects is a Mill Hill kit. So since March 1st, I have started 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 different Mill Hill kits. And if you have never done a Mill Hill kit, here, I'll just grab one, and they're all in my Twinsies bag with Kamek cataloging my stitches, the watermelons. When you sort of, I don't have one that's raw, if you know what I mean, but they come with this, these packs of beads that are a hot mess, right? So here, this is Gingerbread Cottage. This is one of the ones I started, and it has, 2 packs of all these different colors of beads that have to be sorted out. Now, I'm not really dealing with the beads for many of the projects yet because I'm doing the stitching first, but they also come with this mess of floss, right? So for each of these, I went through and I sorted my floss and I made like a little thread drop thing on an index card so that it's like organized. And if I don't pick this up for, you know, let's be honest, like a few months, then it's all good. It's all organized. It's ready to go. I should also say I've never really used thread drops before. I have cats and they like to bat at things. So I'm definitely a bobbinator. But man, I get the appeal. Like, this is amazing, and I may be being converted because the thread drop is pretty awesome. So that would be sort of step one, would be organizing it. I also edged my perforated paper with washi tape. I'm not sure which way is, there we go. That's gonna be which way is up. So you can see I have a little bit of washi tape on the edge just so that the little bumpies didn't irritate my hand too much. And then, you know, I'd put in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes worth of stitching. So this is all I got done for Gingerbread House. And then once I had sort of the two in the bracket, I would use my tiny decision wheel to figure out which one moves forward. I thought that these were all kind of similar, and so instead of doing the Instagram voting that lots of people have done, and I am loving that. I think it is so cool to see people's projects and to have like some agency to be like, yeah, I want 100 Owls by Owl Forest, or I want Witchy Wash, or whatever. Although, like, Julie, Kansas City girl to Colorado World, talked about how sometimes she's like, why did that one win? I demand a recount. I totally, yeah, get invested in what I'm voting for. I think it's kind of interesting to think about the different things that people might be using in their decision. For me, it's been all about which of these projects do, like, I find more engaging, whether that's visually interesting or conceptually interesting or whatnot. But for other people, it might be which one's closer to a finish or something like that. So instead of showing you all 14 of these Mill Hills, I thought I would just show you the ones that made it to the final four. And I think, you know, tonight I'm going to work on Hedgehog. Maybe we'll start with that. He's the last one of sort of that bracket, and then we'll find out if he's, I mean, maybe what would that be? I'm not a sports person. Semifinals? We'll see if he goes to the finals. He's so cute. I love hedgehogs. I call my husband my hedgehog. It's a whole story, whole saga. But that's one of my pet names for him. So I think I'm going to sneak this into his apartment and, like, stick it on his fridge and see how long it takes him to notice. But here is, let's grab a book or something to put behind this. Here is my hedgehog. Oh, that blue is kind of dark. We'll just use my hand. You can kind of see, maybe he's got, it's a little hard to make out, but like this little bit here is going to be his ears, and then this is going into his body, and then this darker part's going to head back into the quills. So that's, you know, a few days worth of stitching at 30, 40 minutes a pop. And so he then, in the tiny decision wheel tonight, will be going up against, oh, and I should say, here's what he'll look like when he's all done. Isn't he cute? Love the hedge pig. So adorable. He will be going up against, what did I work on last night? Oh, for Santa, which is I'm all about the holiday treats. So I made some good progress on this last night. I should say also, I am like, so even before I got kind of down with the COVID vaccine, my husband came to visit, which was awesome. He lives in Austin, about 850 miles away. And because of the pandemic, there have been stretches where we've got to spend a lot of time together, because when everything moves online, I just have picked everything up and headed there, and we got to spend 6 months together from like March through August. We got to spend almost 2 months together over Thanksgiving and Christmas. But we have a kid who's a senior in high school, and so when they're in school, like having some in-person days, they're doing like a hybrid, so they go 2 days a week. He doesn't get to come as often, and we don't get to go see him. But he did come 3 weekends ago or so. Our kid was in the school musical. I'm like way off track. I told you I'm like today. But anyway, our kid was in the school musical, and it was live, well, not live streamed, it was streamed, but they had a socially distanced parents only single performance where they like put little divisions up in the big theater and everyone sat there with their masks and their hand sanitizer, and we got to see it live. So he came for that. And then last week was kiddo's spring break, so we went and spent time with him. So that's all to say I'm like way behind on Flosstube, like 40 hours behind, way behind on my stitching, and way behind on these little mill hook kits. But I had a day that I like frantically caught up. So anyway, all of that was a completely like left field description to get to holiday treats. So last night I finally got some time to like put in on this, and we're up to 3 little cookies that are going to be on the cookie tray. This is what holiday treats is going to look like. I know this whole video is a hot mess. If you want to see all of my Mill Hill starts, they're all on my Instagram, which is the same name as the channel, Rainy Day Stitcher. And I'm thinking for my last matchup, which will be either Holiday Treats or Hedgehog, whichever wins tonight, and then the winner of the left half of the page bracket, which was Fireflies. Oop, put this all kind of back together, right? Like, I don't want to be trying to match up stuff if I don't have to. So the final 4 for the other side of the bracket came down to Fireflies, which is such a cute little thing. You can see it's a little jar, and then the jar is going to have little fireflies in it. We don't have fireflies here in Colorado, but I grew up in Texas, and we did there, and it's a magical part of summer, right? Sitting there with the long dusk and the lightning bugs buzzing around, and you know, having some sweet tea and all that kind of stuff. So that won against Beaded Snowflake. Now, Beaded Snowflake is a little different because it did not have any just stitches. It is straight beading. So this one, I got to jump straight into adding the beads, and like, look at that. Isn't that fabulous? It's all glitzy, and ooh, look at it catching my like table lamp over there, right? Ooh, it's smashing. And this one is pretty close to a finish. So I think, depending on, you know, it's out of the running right now, but I may pick this one up and give it a shot, because it's I don't know, maybe a couple hours and it'll be done. It's really close, since there's not as much as many different stages and steps to it. So we'll just sort of put that up. But yeah, I'm thinking for this last one, for whoever wins tonight against Fireflies, I may do the poll. I was just, I don't know. I was having a hard time with Instagram stories and couldn't figure out how to do the poll, but I'm feeling a little brave, feeling a little more confident. Yeah, so that's been my March matchup, which is my Mill Hill March Madness, just whatnot idea. So that's sort of been what I've been working on almost every day. I also have been keeping up with a couple of stitch-alongs that I'm doing. So the first one is Stitchy Book Club, which right now is Sense and Sensibility. I purchased the kit by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, which is the same. Kristen does both. And I am loving this. I have my Sense and Sensibility audiobook from the Denver Public Library. I was listening to it, you know, 3 or 4 chapters at a time and working on this, and I think the colors and the design is really, really lovely. Especially this peachy color. It's making me really dig for like an orange freeze. I don't know about you all, but I really am wanting some orange sherbet when I work on this. In addition to all the called fors, this is sort of exactly as charted. It's in another one of my Find It bags from a going out of business sale at my local Bed Bath & Beyond. But I did also buy, there's a it's an English book, there's a white conversion for people, say, in England who wouldn't be able to get the kit in time. And I did pick up the 2 shades of purple, and I might incorporate those somewhere. I haven't decided yet. My other stitch along that I worked on this month, and I just got caught up this morning. The new Sensibility comes out later next week, like in the coming days. Shoot, it might be today, actually, or next week. I'm not really sure. I have to check my little schedule. But the other one is the Dark Queen of the Sea. OMG, is she fabulous. This one we do need Highways of the Faith as a background, because she's a large piece. And look at that. Oh, she is just so stunning. And this is probably the first section where I really started diverting a little bit from Erin's amazing design. And for those of you who've been watching my channel, you know that my kiddo is like backseating this project, that I'm still hearing about the face, that they wanted the other face that was an option, and I did this one, and like they finally have made their peace with that. But since then I'm sort of letting them, like I feel like I have to just listen to them. They are invested, and we'll placate the teenager, because sometimes that just makes life easier, and then I can put the hammer down when I need to. My fellow parents and teachers will get what I'm saying there. But I was not crazy about the crown. I mean, I liked it, but when Pauline posted this version, this sort of alteration here in the Facebook group, and my kiddo saw it, they were like, yes! And then I did it in some etoile that I got from Top Knot Stitcher. But I did still like the coral coming out of her head. So I altered the sort of crown a little bit to make some space for the coral to come up behind. And then, or sorry, it wasn't Pauline. Oh yeah, it was Pauline who did the crown. And then Samantha Potter did this alteration where she made the corners these manta rays. Like, OMG, these are so stinking cute. I love them. And I'm going to add black beads for their little eyes so they don't look like soulless flaps. They'll have cute little eye faces. And I posted pictures of this, and in looking at it up close, I realized that I just sort of, she didn't chart it, but she said we could use it. So I just looked very carefully and sort of amended my pattern. But there's a stitch in here that I think I want to change to a 3/4. So I may be ripping out his little face and fixing it a little bit, just to make his nose a little more flat. But yeah, that's the Dark Queen. I am loving it. I'm keeping up with it. This is my first piece that I've ever done on even weave. And to me, it's been really interesting because, you know, the first month, were these 3 little fish. And when I mean, I'm not going to hold it up real close, but you can definitely tell that I was struggling a little bit to figure out the even weave. Some of my stitches are a little wonky, and then as it's progressed, as the years gone forward, I have become much more comfortable, and I think that this is my new like go-to favorite fabric. So now this top section is complete, and I think Erin, the designer, said that now we're going to start down here, and we're going to start filling in this bottom section. So on the 1st of April, that next section will come out, and I'm very curious to see what it's going to be. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. So beautiful, and really fun. And even though there's a lot of stitching, I feel like having it broken out has been really manageable. So those are my 2 stitch alongs that I have been participating in, as well as the like March matchup that everyone's doing. Not everyone, but a lot of people are participating in March Madness or March matchup. OMG, this tea is amazing. It's buttermint, and I have it in my Medieval Wales cup that is based off of an embroidery actually from the Cathedral of Girona in Spain. So anyway, there's my my little stitchy whales. Not really haul because I've had it for a few years, but they always make me super happy. But let's talk about some new starts, because apparently I'm a joiner. And when I heard about some new stitch alongs, I jumped in the bandwagon, because apparently that's what I do. So the first one, which one did I pull out? I'm just like going to grab stuff and see what it is and then tell you. Oh, this is the Pandemic 2020 hashtag It's Been One Hell of a Year Sal by Sarcy Girl. We need Highways of the Faith again. That's the title of this book. I'm teaching medieval art, so like my dresser and floor is just filled with all of these books with crazy titles. You can see here's my start. I didn't grab my iPad, so I can't show you what the full thing looks like. But this is my first sort of traditional sampler, and it's been really fun to sort of work on these little motifs. I only worked on it for like a couple days, but I'm loving this little deer. I think he's so cute, his little bouncy legs. And that is being hosted, I think, by, you know, I don't remember, so I'm not even going to say. I'll put it in the description box down below. Oh, do I have it? I printed it off. Oh, I didn't put down who's hosting it, but the Patterns by Sarcy Girl on Instagram, and I'll link that down below. So that is Join Up number 1 that I started in March. And then Abby Top Knot Stitcher started Chester's Place Sal. And Chester's Place was a pattern, I'm not sure if it's still available, by, see, I told you I can't think of anything, Whistle Stop Stitcher. And she started it to raise money for this cat, Chester, who needed some dental work. And she was able to raise up enough money to help him get his teeth handled. He was an older rescue cat. It's the cutest kitty. Abby Top Knot Stitcher has been posting like Chester pictures. And so this one has a big, beautiful house, and then some of the other animals that Whistle Stop Stitcher's sister has rescued. And here's my tiny little start on it. I really only worked on this for one night, but it was nice. I picked up some of this. I think this is 18 count, just sort of natural Aida, at my local big box store, and I think it's working really well. And then my little soot sprites, because they're being cute, and it lives in one of my Garon Stitchery bags. Or Garon tote bags with these cool, like mermaids riding seahorses. And then I'm not counting. I have no idea how many new starts this is up to. Sort of the third big one is for Abby Bella Stitch, who is doing a really important stitch along, hashtag Stitch Asia. You know, I'm filming this after the horrific mass murder terrorist attack on Asian women. And that is not an isolated incident. That violence and hate crimes against Asian immigrants and Asian Americans is up something like 500%. Like, I forget the statistics, but it's abhorrent. Like, any is abhorrent, but we shouldn't be increasing our hate, right? So to raise awareness and to also celebrate the diversity of cultures in the stitching community, Abby started this Stitch Asia project, and it has taken off. I'm so happy to see how many people are participating. Designers are participating, producers are participating, and so the idea is that it's not a single project. It's you work on something that is either visually, iconographically inspired by Asia, and any Asia, right? There are lots of countries in Asia, not just China and Japan, which is what we mostly sort of think about here in the United States, or projects that are created by Asian designers or Asian American designers. So it's been a lot of fun. Abby has been highlighting Asian designers and makers and projects on her Instagram all month. And for this project, I chose this really, really cool, I love it. It's a Chinese landscape by Apple Jam, who is a designer of color on Instagram. Not Instagram, on Etsy. And it's starting to emerge. So right now it still looks kind of globby because we're in like the mid-ground. But it has these really, really cool sort of mountain hills and pine trees, and it is very reminiscent of a like song or scroll painting. And this one has been a blast to work on. I also got some of the natural Ada, although this one I think is just 14 count. And because it's 14 count and because it has a pretty limited color palette, it's these beautiful sort of greeny, mossy, greeny colors, but you can see there's only, you know, 8 of them. And so it's been really nice in the evenings when I'm sort of tired or worn out to work on this. So I can't wait to see it finished. I teach Asian art as part of my world art class, and so it's been kind of nice to work on it while I'm also taking a break from lecture prepping for Chinese art, which I taught actually just a couple weeks ago. We talked about Ming landscapes and gardens and the Forbidden City and stuff. And I have this in one of my other Garon totem bags, and I have it in the peacock because peacocks are native to Asia. And can we just like, I forget, someone was like marveling at Ronnie's craftsmanship. I don't know if it was the crafty curator or who it was, but like, look at the way the peacock spreads across the fastening. I mean, this is just stunning, and I am so stoked that I scored one of these in last month's sale. So that's all I've been working on. So it's just a handful of projects. But mostly those mill hills. I mean, that's a lot. So it's like a lot, but not a lot. I don't really know how to weigh that. So I'm going to continue working on those. I missed Dark 13. I haven't done any Santa Sunday. I haven't even been doing working on my Hade. But I'll pick all those up back in April, which is the next month. But I also am going to participate in yet another stitch along because, like I said, I'm a joiner. And this one is the Peruvian cats style, and I'm like slapping myself that I didn't bring in my iPad. But it's this amazing, amazing Peruvian cats pattern that is based off of an actual surviving Peruvian textile by Peruvian Flair, which is Anna. And I'll, again, look for details in the description box. And it's a monochromatic piece, right? And even Anna in the pattern sort of markup on Etsy shows it in a red and a blue. But I decided to like dive into my stash and go way outside the box. So I picked this Riddles, this 16 count Ada in this really nice like periwinkle blue by Live and Die LA Valerie. And then Valerie has started doing floss. OMG, are these flosses amazing. So I picked this one, which is called Peachy Hearts, and it's this beautiful variegated. And so I'm going to do the sort of center cats and the border in this. And then I just matched up a DNC sort of peach and sort of pinky fuchsia-y color to do the sort of side cats in. So that's my plan. I'll be starting that. I think the 3rd is when that stitch along kicks off. Like I said, there'll be another, the 3rd part to Sense and Sensibility will also be coming out. The next section for Dark Queen of the Sea will be coming out. So I've got a lot of things going on. I got a little irons in the fire, but I'm hoping to do, let's call it some catch-up stitching. Get some work on these before Mania, right? This is the last Mania. It's also my first Mania. Go big or go home. I'm sort of looking off screen I have a bin full of all the stuff I've already kitted up, including all the charts, or not charts, kits. I went a bit kit crazy. Try not to say that. I have been buying kits. We'll just put it like that. Lots and lots of kits. If you've been watching my videos, you've been seeing them come in. And, you know, I don't think I have any kits today in my haul, but that's alright. But I have a whole nother bin of things that I am, like, prepping for Mania. So let's get into the haul. We're at 30 minutes. Let's try to keep this under an hour. So my first thing, though, is a piece of Stitchy kindness. So Alexis, who is actually another Colorado stitcher, for #StitchAsia, did giveaways for some amazing project bags. She did one a week with these seriously stunning fabrics. And so the first week I won. I'm starting to win giveaways and it's like so exciting. And look at this beautiful like chinoiserie toile. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And then there's a little gorgeous blingy doohickey on the zipper, and it's stunning. Thank you, Alexis. It's fabulous. Yeah, she sent it, and it became this thing of like, OMG, you're in Colorado? I'm in Colorado. So once this pandemic, like I don't know about you all, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're gonna do like a coffee stitchy get together thing, which will be kind of cool. I started stitching during the pandemic, so I have never had a chance to like hang out with stitchy people, like ever. Oh, and then I have another plan, which is that my mom is going to teach me to knit. Woo! So excited. So I do crochet. I started off with crochet. Oh, I shouldn't say start, but my kid just turned 18. That was another thing that has happened in the last, you know, however many weeks. Well, actually, about a month ago. But there's been lots of senior stuff. But anyway, I was on bed rest for like 3 or 4 months with them at the end of my pregnancy. And so my mother-in-law taught me to crochet. So I've done it off and on. I'm working on this Afghan. Haven't worked on it, so I don't have it here in my whips. But I was like, I like crochet. I'm not really interested in knitting. And then my mom got way, way, way into knitting. Like, way into knitting. And then she got into spinning. And then she got it like whoa, right? And I was like, she was like, do you want me to teach you to knit? I was like, I'm okay. I like my crochet thing. And now I'm doing the cross stitch thing, so I'm all good. And then Denise at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio has been talking about how much she wants to learn to knit and how much she wants to learn to knit socks. And it started this whole conversation on her channel and in her Facebook group about knitting. And I was like, knitting is that like I said, I'm a joiner. And then Christopher at Skog Knits has the coolest knitting projects. Seriously. Totally catching the knitting bug. So after watching them present these amazing sweaters and these really cool fingerless mitts with these stripes on them, I was like, Mom, you want to teach me to knit? And she was like, sure. And I'm like, no, like, Mom, teach me to knit. And she's like, sure, whatever. So I started bribing her. She had to move out to Colorado in end of January, beginning of February. So she's actually living here. And I was like, I'll start bribing her. Get beef broken going. And guess what? This weekend, she's going to teach me to knit. Yeah. So that's my other sort of big plan is I'm going to start Peruvian cats. Love the Andes. I'm so excited. And then, yeah, I'm going to learn how to knit. I'm going to start with a rectangular scarf because, yeah. So we're going to go to the yarn store and this weekend and get some stuff. So anyway, see, I'm all like, plans, stitch kindness, plans, projects, wrong words. I told you at the beginning. I have to do that to my students too. So here is Boxo haul. I think if I put it here, it's going to block you. So I'll set it here and I'm just going to reach in and we're just going to grab stuff and we're going to see what I grab. Oh, first bit of hauls on my body. I got a shirt. I'm going to be on my tippy toes from Athena Stitching Goddess Designs. It says it's a cross stitch thing you wouldn't understand and it's surrounded by our acronyms. So I love it. It's gorgeous. Thank you, Athena. So go check her out. Again, description box. It's going to be my saving grace. Oh, what do we have here? We have a haul from Allison. It's Charm School, and Allison is a crafty girl. I don't have it all put together, and her amazing little packaging fell apart, which is not her fault at all. The package got really sort of damaged in the post office, but one of the little beading trays, so there's a sticky, and you put your beads for all those Mill Hill kits. Yeah, when I get to some beading. I also like bead heavy projects, so apparently I'm learning about myself. So that's going to get a lot of use. And I love that she sent the little sticky pad in its own little thing. So it's not getting cat or dog hairy or anything until I'm ready to use it for the first time, and then I'll sort of assemble. I also pre-ordered and scored one of her Ort jars, little Ort things. So that should be here like any day now. I think it's already shipped. So there's her little, I love her little packaging. So cute. So there's stash one. I just grabbed a little handful. Okay, so, live in Colorado, which is desert environment, and I am on now my third bottle of Happy Hands Stitcher lotion. I know a lot of you like the Stitchy lotion that they sell in like the LNSs and stuff, but this one is actually for like it's designed by a woman on Etsy who does like knitting and yarn stuff, but it's fiber friendly, and so I figure, hey, that works for cross stitchers too. So it's a hand cream for crafters, and the scents are amazing. So far I did a pumpkin spice one for fall, and then I did a snow bear, which was like kind of peppermint evergreeny, and then this one is Highlander, so it's heather and hyacinth, and it smells so good. It gets right into my hands. It doesn't mess up my stitching, especially if I'm working with silks, because like, my brain is totally shut down now. Anyway, I love me some silks. Totally lost my train of thought there. So yeah, I got a new bottle of Happy Hands hand cream. I'll put it in, totally recommend them. Don't know her, like in no way affiliated, but I've been very, very happy with this product. Oh, I got my nest egg from 3L Threads. I signed up for that. And I'm doing Classic Colorworks, and in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through every single color, but here they are. And several of these are in the Frogwarts pattern, so I'm already have a use for many of them. I think my favorite, both in color and in name, is Fancy Nancy Green. Sort of a fun minty color. There's also this gorgeous, again, sort of peachy color. Since I'm a parent, oh, it's called Goldfish. Love it, because apparently I'm in a peachy, orangey mood. So those are awesome, and I'm excited to be building up my overdyes. I have a lot of sort of ones by dyers, like you know, I've done several from Valerie at Live and Dye LA. I've done the thread packs from Fiberlicious, but those aren't called in charts, right? So I'm excited to start getting my nest eggs and getting the ones that are for showing up in charts, because I am struggling, as many of us are, to get the colors we need. So one of the other things I'm doing, is I'm kitting up a chatelaine. And I think they're going to go on sale, and for my birthday's not till June, but I was going to order one for my birthday, and I think I'm going to do one in the sale. But the one I'm working on needed a couple of beads. I'm not sure which ones, maybe these two. We'll just hold these up at random. From Jewelry Supply Co. And they were having, again, a sale. I'm a sucker for a sale. And so I got some others. Delicas. Size 11, your standards. Because I like me some beads. So we've got like some pretty teals. We'll see if they'll show up. And then like these really fun lime green ones. And again, some like fuchsia pinky ones. I might put some of those in Peruvian cats. I don't know. We'll see how dangerous I feel. But yeah, if you're looking for beads, I was very happy with Jewelry Supply Company. They shipped really fast, really reasonably priced, a lot of selection. So, totally worth it. Toss those on the bed. What's next in my bag of goodies? We got our Fiberlicious stuff. So some of the reason why my haul is so filling up the whole box is that so I mentioned my husband lives in Austin, and some of my stuff sometimes goes there because I try to have it shipped where I think I'm going to be, when I think it's going to ship. And then with the pandemic, sometimes that has changed. So I had a small pile of stuff in Austin, and when he came to visit, he brought most of it with him. So I finally got my January stuff from Fiberlicious. Not by any fault of Fiberlicious, it's that I sent it to Austin and then I wasn't there. So I got Elpis, Goddess of Hope, which is so beautiful. The modeling, like Gwen has just been hitting it out of the park, and I'm so excited for the one this month, which is Jade. It's this beautiful tealy color. And then I got the floss pack of all the variegated fun sort of springy Easter colors. I also got my March Fabric of the Month by Live and Die LA, which is this super fun sort of electric green. And I was going to try and get Jello Shot, but I think I'm going to use this and do the Lila Studio Halloween Quaker. And last year I got the Halloween Stitchy box, and I'm doing that again. So I'm going to just use whatever embellishments and threads and things come in that, and that's going to be my MO. That's gorgeous. I love Valerie's stuff. It is so fun to work with. I have 2 projects going on fabrics of hers, and they're great. I want to support her, like pump her up so that she her business is successful. And at the other hand, selfishly, I kind of don't want to mention her because it's kind of hard to get fabric sometimes, but not too bad, but it'll get bad. You know what I mean? And I want all the fabric, but I can't support her business like 100%. Now, I was very successful this last Friday Night Fight Night with Bestitch Me. So I got 3 of Brandy's fabric. So I got this unnamed neutral, which is sort of a tanny. I know it's hard to see in the cellophane, but if I take them out, I'm going to be putting them back in. I think I'm going to use this for Frog War Tier 2. I got, it was like dessert themed, so this one is Cobbler, and it's a super fun berry color. I love it. It's got some like modeling, but it's a little more subtle. That's beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, but I think it would work really well for like a Mira or something like that. And then I got Sherbert. Told you I was in a Sherbert mood. So fun. This sort of peachy orange with little undertones of pink. And I'm going to do a project on this one with some Fiberlicious over-dyed flosses in like a hot fuchsia. That is this free pattern that was put out by Taylor and Cromwell that is about dyslexia, because I actually have dyslexia, and some days it makes it really hard, and being an academic in a writing heavy discipline with dyslexia has its own complications. So they did a pattern with these sort of 2 flowers, and then it says something like, spelling is not an indicator of intelligence, and then flipped the letters that are commonly flipped. So I'm going to do that on this, and that's one of the things that I'm going to put in my office. I'm going to put it over the door facing me in my chair so that I remember, right, that my spelling and my text, text abilities are not an indication of my intelligence or of my writing abilities. So I love that. I think it's beautiful. Okay. Oop. We'll set that aside for now. I'm sorry about all the crinkles. One of these days I'll have it all ready to go. But today is not that day. But I fallen in love with Gurren tote bags. What can I say? Ronnie's sense of fabric is stellar. The quality is good. I thought I would only like the bags with the vinyl front to see what's in them, and I'm finding that it's fine. It's not that hard to put a tag on it or to figure out what's in it. And I got one of the coveted kaleidoscope bags. I'm a bit of a sniper on those online sales. This is beautiful, and they called it kaleidoscope, but for me, it reminds me a lot of both like ottoman tiles, but also like Gothic ornament. So there's some really cool things here. And then the interior are these little bubbles. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is one of the ones. I got a peacock. I got a kaleidoscope. I need to not get full of myself. All right, I got some more project bags. Like I said, not all of these were this month. Some of them went to Austin, but I found a company that I really love, and I'm gonna hype them. They're not a cross stitch company, and I haven't heard anybody mention them, but they're called Society 6, and they seem to be one of those companies where you can upload your like art or design, and then you can get it printed on t-shirts, bags, phone cases, all kinds of stuff. And they do these carry-all pouches, and they have some of the like coolest designs. I found them when I was looking for something similar to one of the things that the Black Needle Society had. So they had a sale, and I got 3 carry-all pouches to use as project bags. They're not quite big enough to hold an 8x8 Q-snap, but they'll hold a small thing. And I'm realizing I don't have a ton of Q-snaps, and so I tend to pop things on and off of my Q-snap, so it'll totally hold a small project. So my first one is this beautiful Japanese screen that they sort of copied onto the bag. And then I got sharks and flowers. Yeah, aren't those so cute? I love me the sharks. I love the whale shark and the sort of great white shark, and I don't know if there's any hammerheads on here, but they're just so precious, and sharks are so misunderstood. And then speaking of misunderstood animals, this one might be my favorite. Got a possum. And I love that the possum is being like, my dog has been known to catch possums in Texas, but I also love that they eat all the little things that I don't actually want in my house. We had tons of possums in our neighborhoods in Austin, and I kind of miss him. His little tail's curled up on, and he's surrounded by flowers, and I think he's amazing. So if you're looking for, those are the largest bags they have. So if you want giant bags, it won't work. But if you're looking for small pouches, Society 6 is awesome. So then I also made, this is an older order, went to Austin by the, does it say on here? Oh yeah, 805 Stitcher. I got this bag with this beautiful marbled paper like you would have in sort of an older edition, like an end paper as the back, and then it's all classic storybooks. So I thought this would be fun for a stitching book club. It's beautiful. And then it also, this one came with one of these little like needle art book things. So it snaps open, maybe if you're someone other than me. I'm gonna rip it, there we go. And it has some felt that you can either stick your threads to or stick your needles, you know, weave them in. And so that will be really handy. I, not now, but generally speaking, love to travel. And then they throw in a thank you needle minder. And so for the 805 Stitcher, I got this one, which I adore. And then I also got this really fun merperson book, or bag, which has mermen and merwomen in sort of the stripies, like the old swimsuits, with this adorable octopus and a squid and a shipwreck and all kinds of cool fishy under the sea. And then the sort of accent fabric is the red and white stripes. And again, a fun little needle minder of the Little Merman. But you know, I ordered those in December. They went to Austin. I only just got them. So of course I had to make an order to come to Colorado. And I ordered from Little Boat 88. This bag, I had my eye on it, and I'm learning, like, don't wait, right? Oh my god, it's hedge pigs! I told you, love me some hedge pigs. Oh, stuff's going boom. And so this one has this adorable fabric of them all like snuggling and like reading books, and Mama and Bibbit hedge pigs. And then the back is like a hedge pig village with little houses and them walking around with little hats on, and oh my gosh, so cute that I had to do not just the bag. Like, I couldn't leave it. I had to do the grime guard. Had to. I could not abandon the hedge pigs. And then of course she tossed in a little hedge pig needle minder with the fabric. Oh, so that's all the bags. And we're at 50 minutes. So now we're gonna do the patterns, right? So I'm gonna try and make this as fast as I can. And I lied. There are kits in here. So Needlework Expo happened, right? And 3L Threads was doing some things on sale to make space for the Needlework Expo. So I had made an order, and then I went back and made another order because I'm stress shopping. Like, let's just be real. My kiddo's a senior in high school. I'm about to turn 40. I'm teaching online. There's a global pandemic, an economic recession. There's a lot of like, in the world, in my life. So I'm shopping, and that's just what it is. So I got on this round of sale, Hildy's Hayride by Bendy Stitchy. I love it. I love the little frog. And then I got the modestly sized Red Ship of Life by Ink Circles, which is based on tampan cloth. So this also works for Stitch Asia. I did your standard 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I didn't bring all of the like bits and bobs in, but I got Lady Eliana, which I have all kitted up and ready to start for May. I got this Bella Filipina, Enchantress of the Abyss, another Asian designer, also a male designer I've learned, which is beautiful. I love this pattern. Look at how gorgeous she is. Also all kitted up for May. Oh, this is a little out of order, but that's okay. With my Bestitch Me order, I won one of the giveaways. Like, winning things. A cup of Frida. Oh my gosh. Is that beautiful? Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And I think I'll even do it in sort of a very similar little pillow with a similar fabric. My bobbin was having a sale, so I ordered a few kits because why not? This one I'm going to show their photo is faded, so this is not the colors, but it's this beautiful mosque with these daffodils. I don't usually like yellow, but this one, the sort of color spoke to me, and then you can't see the pattern, but this will at least give you a sense of the colors a little bit. This is beautiful kit. I don't know which mosque this is, but I'm going to try and sort it out, but it has a sort of Iwam looking section on the front. And then I ordered this one. Oh my god, this looks like the Timurid Mosque. I'm going to have to do some comparisons. The dome isn't quite right, but this beautiful, beautiful blue tile work on the mosque. And I love the way it has sort of the tile work up here as the frame. It's beautiful. I love this so much. I can't wait to stitch this up. I showed this to my friend Ali, who teaches Islamic art. He's a scholar of Islamic studies and does a lot of art stuff in Dallas, and he was like, OMG, that's amazing. And so I don't know if I'll give it to him because I'm selfish, but he's super excited. And then because there was a sale and things can't travel alone, I got a different kind of crafty kit. I got a ribbon embroidery, which I've never done. No idea how to do it. I don't know that this instruction is going to be in English, so yeah. Russian is not one of my languages, and I need to find someone to help me maybe. But it's hedge pigs! Oh my gosh. And so I think I can kind of see it's like printed on the fabric, and then you go ahead and add these embellishments with the ribbon and the beads. And so, yeah, I thought this would be fun to experiment with, and it wasn't very expensive since it was on a wicked sale. So yeah, that's going to be an adventure. So then let's get into, I think all that's left is my Needlework Expo stuff that I all got from Top Knot Stitcher. So I also got a needle minder, Octopi Love, Team Cephalopods for the win. But I got Lindy Stitch's Jackalope. Texas girl had to get her Jackalope. I think it's Jackalopian Tapestry. Yeah, if you don't know what a jackalope is, it's worth a Google. Of course, you know I had to be there for Hedgehog House. I think I'm gonna, it's little, I think I'm gonna add, I call my husband my hedgehog, as I've mentioned, and I also, for some reason, started calling him Sexy Pants, probably because he wears, like, literally the least sexy pants imaginable, so I may chart that and put it around it, and take off the little bow. Or I'm thinking I might duplicate it, since we have 2 houses, and so that there's 2, a his and her hedge pig house, and then I have to do something obnoxious, like Dr. Hedgehog and Mr. Hedgehog, because that's been an ongoing thing. Anyway, lots of ideas for Hedgehog House. I'm a Francophile, so of course you know I'm jumping on the French Kitchen by Hands On Design. I'm starting with just 2, but I'll probably get more. But I got Fraise et Menthe, the sort of strawberries and mint. And then Poire Romain, the pear and rosemary. I had the best pear ice cream, which sounds really weird. It's sort of more of a icy, gelato-y, icy something, when I was in Paris a couple years ago. And so I very much associate, it was hot, it was August or July, and it was delicious. And so, yeah, I totally associate pears with my time there. I got Evolution, which is Islamic tiles. Of course I did. Not just Islamic tiles, but looks very much like the Alhambra, which is one of the most magical places in all of existence, down in Granada. And I think for this, they even say how to like change up the colors. I think I'm going to pull some of my pictures from the Alhambra and use the pattern to change up a little bit of the palette, just a little bit. It needs like a little bit of yellow and maybe a different, like a little bit different green. But anyway, I'm going to use my photos to sort of see. And then my last one is Kristen, the Arctic Ocean Mermaid with beluga whales. And I love this for so many reasons. A, beluga whales. Yeah, they're amazing and adorable. And my family still goes around and goes, ooh, to try and find things like Bailey. If you don't get it, that's totally fine. Disney reference. I love that she's a mermaid of color because representation matters. And I love that she's a little bit of a different body type than many of our pretty ladies. I think that diversity comes in lots of different forms, right? I think that slowly, not fast enough, but slowly there's starting to be some recognition of the need for some ethnic diversity. I think Stitch Asia is going a long way to celebrating and sort of recognizing the Asian-inspired design, the Asian-inspired designers. A lot of people are doing skin conversions of their pretty ladies, which is having an impact, right? Designers are noticing. But body type, right? How about ability? How about other forms of difference, right? So I think there are continuous ways that we can be more inclusive in our community. So I love it. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I'm all here for it. And she's beautiful. I can't wait to put her in my house. Oh, so I'm at 58 minutes. If I stop it here, I'll be under an hour. Thank you so much if you've made it through this Mr. Toad's Wild Ride of stitching and haul. I will be back in probably about 3 weeks. That's sort of the rotation that I'm on, and it works for me. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you again. And so, awkward segue. I missed a box of haul. Don't worry, this isn't going to be another 40 minutes of haul. It's just one medium-sized box of a handful of things. And clearly, I'm going to have to give my editing skills a workout. I've never tried to splice videos together before, so we're going to see how this goes. So, I am a happy member of the Black Needle Society. But I am a recent member. My first box is the on-the-go stitching, which people are opening and receiving now, and mine went to Austin. So I watched an unboxing video, and I'm super, super stoked. I watched Nicole's at I Practice Stitchcraft. Finally broke down when I realized I'm not going to get it before the 1st. And now I'm trying to sweet talk my hedgy, sexy pants husband to mail me my box. We'll see how that goes. So, but I've been very good, sniper, at scoring items in their vault where they put extras. So I did not get the Lost in Austin box, but I kind of did a DIY Austin box. I know I would have. So I scored, I'm sorry about all the rustling, this adorable teacup and saucer that says on the inside, "But indeed, I would rather have nothing by T," a Jane Austen quote. And then we're going to set that over there very carefully. Just going to drop the box on the floor. We'll pick it up later. And then, oh, more packaging to go with that. I got the Simpson and Vale tea, Jane Austen's black tea blend, right? So I can have some tea with my cup. I'm doing this in strategic order, the little Notions bag from Out of Print. Boop. I'm all caught in the plastic and the crinkle. This is like horrible YouTube etiquette. But the Pride and Prejudice bag that sort of looks like the cover. Kim at Cataloging My Stitches, I'm sure, could tell us all about it. And the history of the covers, and I love that the tag is like a library card, old school. See, I told you it's total DIY. I, of course, had to get the needle minder that says "Obstinate Headstrong Girl." Heck yeah, I did. Also have that on a t-shirt. Almost a very similar sort of silhouette-y design. Very Regency. I was able to snag the Pattern by Heartstring sampler with the quote from, I think it's Northanger Abbey. It says, "There is nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends." And then it calls for some forbidden fiber floss. So I got the floss pack. These I am going to go through because I think the names of these colors are awesome. And this is my first forbidden fiber that I've gotten my hands on, although I may have ordered the Mandalorian thing, which will be here soon. So this is Lizzie's Laughter from Pride and Prejudice. We've got Anne's Constancy. It's beautiful. It's not really showing up, but sort of like a stormy blue. Emma's Good Intentions, which is this gray and gold, and I totally think I'm kind of an Emma. Catherine's Gothic Inclinations after Northanger Abbey, which is probably one of my favorites. Fanny's Friendship. Oops, this one's got a little bloop in it. And then Mary Ann's Broken Heart from Sensibility. So anyway, I'm going to see if I can edit and put these together. If I can, you might see some interesting image drops, if I can drop in images of the things I wasn't able to show you. And yeah, so thank you again.